Hi guys, so today we're going to be talking about special right triangles. Now this should be a review from Math 2, so it should go quickly. Alright, so let's look at our first one. We have a 30, 60, 90 triangle. And what that means is that we have a degree of 30 on one corner and 60 on another and then 90 as well. So we have 30, 60, and 90 right there. So the thing that we need to mark important about this is our ratios. So our side ratios are 1/2 h, which we get from here, and then square root of 3 over 2h, and then h as well. So that is my side ratios. And I like to list them in legs first, then my hypotenuse. Legs being the sides that connect by that right angle, hypotenuse being across from the right angle. Alright, so let's move on to our 45, 45, 90. So, 45, 45, 90 is the same idea. We have a degree of 45 in one corner, another 45, and a 90 in another. So, again, let's talk about those side ratios. So our side ratios are k, k, and then square root of 2 times k. So again, my k's are my legs, and then the square root of 2 times k is the hypotenuse. So that's really good to make sure that you know. So let's look at our first one. So I like to have 3 steps when it comes to special right triangles. I need to identify if it's a 30, 60, 90 or a 45, 45, 90. Well, I'm looking at my triangle and I notice that my legs are equal to each other. And when we look back at our side ratios, so this being the 45 and this being the 30, 60, well, which one has the ratios where there are 2 equal lengths? That would be the 45, 45. So there are 2 k's. So that automatically tells me we have a 45, 45, 90. And we have to write our side length ratio, so we have k, k, square root of 2 times k. So now that we know our side ratios, we need to figure out what x is going to equal. So if 3 equals k, and we need to get our x to equal square root of 2 times k, we can plug in k. And I'm going to move over here. So x equals square root of 2 times k. So we can plug in k, which is going to be 3. So then x is going to be 3 square root of 2. And that's all we have to do. So here's our next example. So same idea. Let's find out if it's a 30, 60, 90 or a 45, 45, 90. So for this one, I'm going to look at my angles. So I have a 60 degrees and 90 degrees. Well, that tells me the only one that has 60 degrees is 30, 60, 90. So we need to think about our side length ratios. So we have 1/2 h, and then we have h square root of 3 over 2, and h. Another way to write this so that it's a little bit easier to remember is h square root of 3 and 2h. It's kind of like we multiply each and every one of those by 2. So if you want to remember it this way, I would highly recommend it because it's a lot easier to remember. So again, we have to note that these are my legs. So the connected by the right angle. And we have to know that this is going to be my short leg and this is going to be my long leg. Okay, so knowing that information, let's label our sides. So my short leg is my 2, so this is going to equal h. And then my long leg is x. And then my hypotenuse is 2h. And I meant to say this is h. Sorry guys. Alright, so we need to find out what x equals. So if we know that h is 2 by the information we get from here, let's plug it in. So I'm going to move over here. So we have x equals h square root of 3. So x equals h, which we said was 2, square root of 3. And then that's what our side equals. Alright, so for this one, I want you to identify if it's a 45, 45, 90 or a 30, 60, 90. So I want you to pause the video here and figure out if it's a 45, 45, 90 or a 30, 60, 90. Alright, so you should have figured out that it is a 45, 45, 90. The reason being is that this angle is 45 degrees, so we have a 45, 45, 90. So let's write our side ratios. So it's K, K, and K square root of 2. So again, these are my legs, and then this is my hypotenuse. So if my legs are K, that means 7 is going to be equal to K, and X is going to be equal to K square root of 2. So we need to figure out what X equals. So we have x equals k square root of 2, and we know that k equals 7 from this information here. So I'm going to plug in 7, so I have x equals 7 square root of 2, and then that's what x equals. So this is my last example. So again, I want you to determine if it's a 30, 60, 90, or a 45, 45, 90. So pause the video here and figure out which one it is. Alright, so you should have figured out that it is a 30, 60, 90 triangle because of this angle right here is 60 degrees. So we have a 30, 60, 90 triangle. So let's write out our side lengths, and I'm going to write the easier way because it's a lot easier. So h square root of 3, and 2h. Okay? And then the way in the beginning is this, if you like that more. I particularly like the other way more. But, so remember, these are my legs. So, and this is my short leg, and this is my long leg. So if our short leg is h, let's define what that is. So short leg, well, that's going to be this guy right here is h. My long leg is going to be h square root of 3. And then my hypotenuse is going to be 2h. Alright. So if we know that x is equal to 2h, and we also know that h is equal to 2 square root of 3, we can plug in that information, and then we solve, and we get 4 square root of 3 is x, and our missing side. Alright, so that's it for today's video. Have an awesome day and stay safe.